To be undeniable is to have no way to go other than up, no result other than victory, the inability to fail. It's a word that a lot of people just like to throw around without any validity to it, despite how powerful of a word it really is. With the amount people throw the term around, you'd assume everyone and everything is undeniable in one way, shape, or form. A true example of undeniability in the sports world could be drawn to the success of Cam Ward, someone who is never supposed to make it, starting as a JUCO quarterback and turning into the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. The power of undeniability is based on betting on yourself and trusting that everything's gonna work itself out because the universe is behind you. Some people just have that factor of being undeniable. Some people are just destined to win and have a deeper drive than others around them in their shared fields. Wrestling has seen its fair share of undeniable moments, wrestlers, and eras that were truly special. We're gonna take a look at 3 of those wrestlers here and maybe ruffle a couple feathers while we're at it. Let's go, man. Segue, man. Come on. Segue, man. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. We are once again back in action. We gotta lock in a little bit here because we finna talk about undeniability in professional wrestling. Once again, this is a term that gets thrown around a lot and has a lot of common misconceptions to deal with it. We're gonna talk about 3 examples here, and hopefully the last one doesn't make you too angry because I know y'all's feelings around that man. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, so we're just gonna rip that rubber off, and this is gonna be my shortest intro ever. Yay. For all the people that complain about my intros being too damn long, fuck you. And we're gonna start with one that really hits deep in my soul. Oh baby. The Yes Movement. The Yes Movement has a very special place in my heart, and it's probably the biggest fan movement in wrestling history. I don't think it's that crazy to say that. You just kinda had to be there, you know? Daniel Bryan is and was a generational talent, one of the greatest pound-for-pound professional wrestlers the business has ever seen. In 2013 and 2014, for those unfamiliar, this same goat-looking motherfucker decided he was going to become the most popular wrestler in the business. Up until this point, Bryan had already had a pretty solid WWE career, a career in which saw the United States Championship, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and even a World Heavyweight Championship reign. Not only this, but he was also one of the most featured wrestlers on the card, with both his singles stuff and his stuff with Kane as Team Hell No. An accumulation of all of this stuff alongside his prior work led to him naturally getting over. While he was in the midst of getting insanely over, he started a feud against the establishment. His feud with the Authority and Triple H that truly sparked following SummerSlam turned him from star into megastar. The entire world was palmed in his hands. He resonated so well with the crowd because he wasn't the stereotypical wrestler. He looked about as close to a regular dude as you can look in wrestling, and him being held down was relatable to the folks in the crowd. The Yes Movement, which was named after his signature Yes taunt, turned into the single biggest angle in wrestling. Entire crowds were doing the chant non-stop, and the fans kind of booked it themselves almost. This is where the idea of undeniability comes in, because it was impossible to hold Bryan down for any longer, and his inevitable triumph occurred at WrestleMania 30, a show in which he wrestled twice on. He was the perfect underdog babyface for the fans to gravitate towards, as he beat Triple H to get the shot at Randy Orton and Batista in the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now granted, his reign was cut short following this, but the moment itself cannot be taken away. Following this, he continued to be one of the most undeniable wrestlers in the world, even to this day. A year after this, as we all know, he ended up prematurely retiring from wrestling. However, due to fan support, he ended up coming back to WWE and coming back to wrestling. He was truly undeniable because everybody just wanted to see him work. Daniel Bryan serves as the blueprint to create an underdog megastar that WWE has tried to replicate since. The rise of Daniel Bryan was inevitable, and his fight against the Authority reminded me of another certain someone. Fuck, I dropped my Bud Light. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Beautiful. Poetry. Greatness. Stone Cold Steve Austin is perhaps the most obvious example of a wrestler themselves being undeniable. A strange career arc that turned him into maybe the biggest star in wrestling history, from ringmaster to S-tier box office attraction. It's poetic, really. The moment of Austin winning King of the Ring changed the entire trajectory of wrestling, as a beer-drinking anti-hero was born. We don't have to get too crazy here, because we all know the story of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and if you don't, I truly am sorry for you. Stone Cold became the biggest star in wrestling because he resonated so well with the rebellious nature of the 90s. Buck the Boss mentality was everywhere around that time in pop culture, so it just fit perfectly. Everyone wanted to see Austin win because he was just relatable. It hit different with Vince trying to hold him down in storyline because so many people felt like they related to it. That broken glass became iconic. That Austin pop is the biggest pop in wrestling history. And due to that Austin pop, Vince had no choice but to make him the top star of the company for the entire stint of the Attitude Era. It's also kind of crazy how the Attitude Era really didn't last that long. Austin was really only the guy for about 5 to 6 years, but he still managed to become the most iconic wrestler of all time, outside of, you know, never mind. Stone Cold was undeniable because he just had the it factor. The people chose him. And because Stone Cold was just that damn good, it was impossible to hold him down. All he could do was continue to win WWF championships and hold the title for 4 weeks. That boy pissed Vince off so bad he had steam coming out of his ears. And speaking of steam coming out of people's ears, this next one is gonna ruffle a lot of you guys' feathers, but it's the truth. The truth often hurts, you know? Because Jey Uso is the final example of undeniability that we're going to discuss here. This is probably the most bizarre of all the incidents of undeniability, because what the fuck even got over here? Was it the 4-letter word? Was it the dance? Was it the entrance? Was it Jey himself? Nah, gang. It was everything mixed together. So many people will continue to hate on Jey Uso due to his evident weaknesses in the ring. However, one thing you cannot do is act like he isn't the most over wrestler on the planet outside of the super big names like Cody, Cena, or Punk. Jey went from a tag team guy to a challenger for the world title to a tag team guy again to an upper mid-card floater to world champion and Royal Rumble winner, or vice versa. Whatever. His rise was one that was unstoppable because everything just kind of worked. Everything just kind of clicked together. And that's something you can't say about a lot of people. It's strange because he didn't even have that big of a following before his mega rise like Daniel Bryan, and he didn't have years worth of singles runs and a linear rise like Austin. He was never christened to be a world champion. It just kind of all happened out of what seemed to be nowhere. His rise truly started after he broke away from Roman as well as the Bloodline the second time, and started his real singles run. After breaking away from Roman, he won the tag titles with Cody, obviously competed on Mania in a forgettable match, but then the month later, like the month after Mania, challenged Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. He lost, but oh my god, that entrance in France. Wow. Jey competed at basically every major event over the course of the next calendar year 2024 and 2025, while also having his first singles run with the Intercontinental Championship in a shock victory over Braun Breaker. He dropped the belt shortly after and started feuding with the Big Solo, and we all know that story. Bloodline this, Bloodline that, War Games, favors, whatever the fuck, man. And he would soon once again break off from that family storyline and go on to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, lose to Gunther, and then win the Rumble. Yeah, the build to it all was just kind of weird because it felt like we got the match like 6 times within the span of 2 months. It was weird, man. But his rise created a likable babyface for the casual audience that could challenge the dastardly heel known as Gunther. Just don't ask the IWC what they think about Jey or about the Jey and Gunther stuff. It's better that you don't talk to them. It eventually all ended up in him winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and children around the world rejoicing. Jey to this new generation of wrestling fans is very similar to some older characters we all grew up loving. I'm not going to name them because it hurts my soul that that's the person they're growing up with. But it's just the truth, man. His merch sales and true overness from town to town made his eventual world championship win unpreventable, because nobody gives a fuck about the internet's opinion. Nobody. The reign itself was forgettable, but that doesn't matter, man. It's the principle of it, dude. Jey's rise and true undeniability around this time is somewhat of an enigma, and is something we can look back on in the future. At first thought, I wanted to say fondly, but a lot of y'all hate him, so I don't know. But what I do know is I'm finna yeet my way out this bitch, you heard? That was the corniest thing I've ever said. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, those are the 3 examples for undeniability in wrestling. There were some more names and more eras I wanted to talk about, but I feel like these 3 fit the best. 3 different situations, and I thought this shit was pretty damn cool, honestly. this has been one of my favorite videos to make. So, yeah, I'm gonna continue to do things that I like and love. Or not, I might just slave my life away to the true crime wrestling videos again. I don't really know, man. But I do know that I want to appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, and if I earned it, I would appreciate it if you left a like on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. We trying to start a movement, and we trying to start a wave, and just change a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really know what we're gonna change, but we're gonna change something, trust. We're so locked in this year, and I'm trying to hit 10K before the end of the year. It's kind of a bold goal, but I think we can do it. Matter of fact, I know we can do it, because you're gonna subscribe, because you're awesome, and I love you. And because I love you, you should join the Discord server. We need some more members in there. When you join the Discord server, you'll instantly get a chiseled jawline. It's the opposite of every other Discord server, but you know, we'll look past that. Once again, appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Y'all stay safe. I'll catch y'all at the bank. God bless.